Kwa hiyo ni Mungu alitusaidia kufika mahali tumefika. Na sisi hapa tumekuja kwa mambo mawili. Hilo la kwanza. Na la pili, tumekuja kumshukuru Mungu, tena tumekuja wengi hapa. Hebu watana simameni. And you see, we have taken over the whole of this place. And basi mnaweza kukaa. Wengine wako nje. Wengine wako town wamekosa nafasi ya kuja hapa. Wabunge ndio hao wamekwama, hawangeweza kuja wote. The whole of my government wanted to be here. Kwa sababu yani kama kuna jambo kubwa sisi tunahesabu ni jambo hili. Huyu Bishop Day pale anatoka, they are even minority within the minority. I know most of you people don't know. He comes from a very, tena ni mashambani. Ajabu sana. Mahali hata umwambia sasa mpeleke nyumbani kwao. Yani you have to use canoes. I think from the road to even to the canoe. Si mguu pale. Yani mguu maybe punda So he comes from that kind of a place. Alafu alikuwa schoolmate. Ile shule amesomea ndio mimi pia wao ndio walianza. Sisi ndio tulikuja baadaye. So I'm trying to jaribu kuangalia kwani huyu mtu from Mwina kule and coming all the way that way. Alafu anapata kura hizo, alafu sasa amekuwa presiding bishop. God should be living in that place. Yeah, there's a God that place. In that river there's a God there. So sisi furaha yetu kubwa, na Mngatana amesema, yani mtu kama sisi aje achukue nyadhifa kubwa kama hii, awe presiding bishop wa kanisa kubwa kama Methodist, tena Uganda, Tanzania, sasa wanamwangalia yeye. Sasa hii ni mambo gani bwana? Sasa hapa watu wote hawa Tana mzima wamekuja kwa sababu wanaona kumbe Mungu anaweza kufanya mambo makubwa kama haya. And just like Mngatana has said, the solution probably, some of the challenges the country is going through could be in the minorities. It could be in the minorities. Wakati nyinyi watu wakubwa, makabila makubwa, mnagongana, paka saa zingine mnataka kutumia pia nguvu kuchukua kila kitu. Hata sisi watu wadogo pia mnatukanyaga. Msitukanyage sana, we can be the solution. We are actually the solution. So kama mtagongana sana muone pengine mambo yamezidi, we are here. Kodana ako hapa. Murkomen, you are my friend and you know me. Go and say, Kodana yuko. So that mpige kura vile kanisa imepiga. Kanisa imepiga kura nyingi sana. 100%. Hii ingine tena that way. Nikiangalia zile kura mimi nimepita nazo na zile za bishop. Naona hata mimi I can be sure one of these days. Sasa yetu sisi ni kushukuru, pongezi bishop na kanisa. Mimi pia ni mwana Methodisti. Heka zile mlikuwa mnapitia, sasa sisi tulikuwa tunacheza politics. Kidogo tunaenda huko, tunaambia si muingile, we cannot politicize this thing. It can only be evangelized. So sasa tunahepa leo hapa, kesho kule, tumejificha looking at the top. Ya kwamba the top will make a difference one of these days. And we thank God for this. Kwa hiyo pongezi na Mungu aibariki kanisa hili, abariki Kenya. Asanteni sana. Sasa wacha nichukue fursa hii nimwalike Mheshimiwa Murkomen, waziri wa infrastructure, aje apige karabati. Karibu sana upige karabati.
Thank you very much. Bishop Day ambaye ni the new bishop ya Methodist Church, former presiding bishop Tambura, Matthew and Kanyaru, viongozi wote wenye wako hapa, my friend the preacher of the day, Dr. Oliver Kisaka, na Wakristo wote. Bwana asifiwe. Bwana asifiwe tena. Kwanza kabisa ningependa kukupongeza. I want to congratulate you, Bishop, on your election, and thereafter today being inaugurated officially to be the bishop of this church. We all know that this church has a very strong foundation. It's a church that was founded by family members, the Wesleyans, John and Charles. And this is a church that also has a very strong foundation in terms of faith, that salvation comes only by you believing. This is a church also that whose foundation is in social good, social evangelism. It is not by accident that Methodist Church has a university, has hospitals, and puts a lot of effort in terms of reaching out. What we, Kisaka and team used to tell us when I was still a student, that being a Christian in the marketplace. And so this church demonstrates itself as a church that really is felt in the marketplace. So Bishop, you are not coming in just to preside over our souls. You also have a responsibility to preside over the bodies and the minds of the people that you serve. I know a lot of emphasis has been put insofar as this church is concerned, but now the position you hold takes you not just to serve those who are members of Methodist Church, but also to minister to all of us and to minister to the country. And so I come here to tell you, congratulations. I know I was discussing about this function. I saw you during the, when you presided over the funeral of the husband of my colleague here. And she told me she was going to be here. And also I was with Mheshimiwa Tana and the president a few days ago, and we were trying to convince the president to be here, except for the fact that we have the African Climate Change, Climate Summit, and the president told us he's not able to be here, but he's going to plan to see you in person, to congratulate you in person at his own time. And so let me say three things. One is to say that reading your story is very encouraging because your foundation of leadership came from at a very early level in terms of leadership in school. It's not by accident that you are now the bishop. There has been a process of mentorship. Number two is to say that because of the challenges you went through, and I know you went through challenges, it is in public domain. The church has had challenges, and it's in public domain. But count it as a blessing that you went through those challenges. When we went through challenges ourselves to form this government, it was very painful, it was difficult, we had challenges, we are here and there, friends who are disagreeing, friends who had been together were not meeting, and you know, people who have served together had challenges. But when I look back now, when I look back at what we went through, I believe it was God's will that the current president goes through the challenges that he went through, because it keeps you focused, it helps you to appreciate the importance of people, and also it helps you appreciate the responsibility you have. You have a big, I see people struggling. I saw the former presiding bishop struggling. Everybody is using diplomatic language, and you know, mtu anaongea na piga kona kidogo anasema lakini, but you can see the pain in everyone who is seeking here to see that the church must stay united. The point people want to say here is the church stay united. So your duty is twofold. One is to reach out to those who still think that you should not have led them. Give them an opportunity to also be served by you. You are now their only bishop. There is no other bishop. Number two, count the fact that there are people who have doubts as a blessing. Because if you rested there and you had 100% votes, perhaps you would forget that you have a legacy, you have responsibility, you have certain things you need to achieve. We are so lucky in this country that President Ruto is president, but Raila is also there making some serious questions, raising, I didn't want to say noise, but raising some serious questions about how government is run. It keeps us in checks. It makes us to be more accountable. And a good opposition is important. I cannot say opposition in government, in church, but what the bishops have said and they emphasize is that you must lead, your leadership must be as consultative as possible. The last thing I would like to say is that there has been an emphasis here of the joy of diversity. there is a big celebration of the fact that you become a bishop, and perhaps from a minority community in this country. It reminded me of what Nathaniel, when Philip told Nathaniel to come and told him, there is a guy from Nazareth who has a very good story. Please come. I want to take you to a man from Nazareth. And you know what Nathaniel responded was, can anything good come from Nazareth? You know, I am sure if someone was to be told maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20, that one day Methodist Church will have a bishop from Pokomo community, from Tana River, from the small of the communities, possibly someone would have said, Methodist, can a bishop really come from Tana River for this kind of a church? But you are now there. You are there so that, one, not so that you feel like, okay, you've been done a favor, but to become an inspiration, to become an example. And the church has become an example for us in politics, so that we set aside our differences and see people. For one, Martin Luther King Jr. said that you don't see, the color of the skin, but you all focus on the content and the character of every individual who serves this country. Thank you, Dr. Oliver Kisaka. I'm glad I came to church today. Sometimes we go to church as politicians. When you reach there, the sermon is changed. And the bishop, either, if he wants to like you so much because he has an arambe, he will praise you. If you had an issue with your party, you will be the subject of being hammered throughout. They will just be saying, leadership in this country has failed. Corruption, and then they will be looking at you. But today you preached, because I of course know you, but you preached like a real pastor. And I want to remind Bishop Day here, when we come to church, those of us in leadership, we don't come with our clothes of presidency, cabinet secretary. We are just weak souls who want to be ministered. The pain and the challenges we go through does not deserve being hammered again when you arrive church. Sometimes you just wanted some encouragement, And I promise myself, the president, and this government, we are going to listen to all the church leaders. Give us a call. Let us talk. Of course, if we become belligerent, you have a right to speak to the country about the right way that we need to go as leaders of this nation. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be here. God bless you, and may God bless our country and the Methodist Church. Asante sana.